chimbilaco, vuela el 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 chimbilaco.
Hi, my name is Anthony Mint. I'm a chef in San Francisco, California, working on food and climate solutions. I want to say thank you to Terra Madre and Slow Food for your leadership over the years, and for the honor of presenting today a new and optimistic idea that we've been working on in collaboration with the California Department of Food and Agriculture. It offers a path forward for anyone in the food system to become part of the solution, and it's compatible with all of the movements coming together for this event today. So I'm happy to be speaking with you. Together, we can do great things, and maybe even start to solve climate change. It's especially relevant today because I'm sitting here in possibly the worst air quality that Northern California has seen. This is actual drone footage from San Francisco 2 days ago. However, this is not a message of despair. This is a message of optimism. In the past 10 years, environmentalists have succeeded in securing commitments from over 100 cities and countries to switch to 100% renewable energy. This is incredible progress, and those same principles of collective action can change farmland in 10 years as well. We can do this effectively through a new approach, which I call table to farm. But first, please know that I am a true believer in the farm-to-table movement. My wife and I used our life savings to run a farm-to-table restaurant called The Perennial. We were trying to create systemic change by championing regenerative agriculture, carbon farming, and perennial grains from 2015 to 2019. And while customers were excited by the world-saving potential of climate-beneficial ingredients, there simply was not enough supply for them to make a meaningful impact through their choices. And in fact, we came to realize that there is a false hope in the good food movement. Many of us strive to make the best choices, and we hope the rest of the food system will follow. The farm-to-table movement is a movement among great chefs and conscientious diners, but we need a more accessible approach. For example, after decades, organic ingredients represent less than 2% of global farmland. We need a new and complementary approach to the current farm-to-table movement in order to create more widespread change. It's both an urgent need, and it's also just such a compelling opportunity that I propose we begin a table-to-farm movement to try to address the other 98% of acres. For context, the IPCC suggests we have 10 years to take serious action on climate. Globally, soils can hold over 3 times the amount of carbon in our atmosphere, so a slight increase, which is in fact simply restoring the carbon released over the past few decades of industrial agriculture, can be a major climate solution. Meanwhile, the UN suggests that we have only 60 remaining harvests at the current rate of soil depletion. Our global food system is built on the extraction of nutrients and profit from natural and human resources. And while there are many heroes and success stories in the good food movement, we must redefine the goal from a select few doing less harm to all of us coming together to actively change hectares. Rather than making choices to delay the inevitable, we must reverse the powerful inertia of an extractive food system and directly, economically, change how farmland and grassland are currently managed. This may seem like too big or too complicated of a problem, but the good news is that it's actually very easy and profitable for the farmers and ranchers and businesses that participate. In the past 8 years, soil scientists, biogeochemists, and climate experts have confirmed that regenerative agriculture can be a primary climate solution, potentially even lowering global temperatures. Agroecologists have proven that sustainable farming is more profitable and builds local resilience. In the long term, regenerative grazing and cropping offer many dollars of profit and societal benefit for each dollar invested. In other words, nature, photosynthesis, and soil biology are so powerful that small economic changes can catalyze massive long-term restoration, including the actual restoring of bad atmospheric carbon as good carbon in healthy soil. But in order to make this change, we must take collective economic action. We must make change instead of simply making choices. It won't be enough for corporations to produce laboratory-engineered genetically modified fake meat. It won't be enough for a few consumers at a time to switch to sustainably raised grass-fed cheeseburgers. What we need is for the leaders of the food system to create a table-to-farm movement that allows great chefs in restaurants and fast food companies alike to send a few cents per meal to directly change the way rangeland and farmland is managed. This money, these millions of dollars, could go towards practices like compost application, regenerative grazing, or silvopasture on the rangeland before the cow goes into the feedlot for the second year. And corporations and restaurants and businesses will participate because customers will seek out restaurants that are part of the table-to-farm movement. This movement can be more profitable and better for the environment. Rather than engage in a purity contest where a few people reduce the amount of harm they do on the environment, what we need is a table-to-farm movement to radically change farmland and restore carbon from the atmosphere as good carbon in healthy soil. There are large movements, like 4P1000 led by the French government, to increase the proportion of organic matter in soil by 0.4% each year, enough to balance out global emissions. And our work at Zero Foodprint, in collaboration with regional governments, uses a simple 1% charge at restaurants and food businesses to unfuck the planet and increase the supply of regenerative agriculture. I believe it is time for all of us to come together and focus on making change, instead of continuing to make choices in a broken food system. And I believe Slow Food is in the perfect position to advance a global table-to-farm movement to create a renewable food economy. Please visit zerofoodprint.org for more information and to join the movement.
Vuela Chimbila.